combo that Indonesia is going for will start faltering. Right now, we've seen a similar strategy, right? Faramis as well as the Kaja, but usually it's paired with an engage that can bring everyone together and allow that Kaja to have optimal damage output in those big fights. But now, for now at least, we haven't seen anything like that from the side of Indonesia. Leslie has been picked by the Philippines, so denying another sniper from Indonesia. And Lolita actually will be the ban for Indonesia. So maybe they are looking at a hero with a lot of projectiles for now.
And I actually expected the Leslie to be picked up by Indonesia early on, right? The final pick of the first phase, the Yuzong, I expected it to be the Leslie. But now, because it has been left over...
Secure, and it will be the Gustian picked up. Hang on here. Let's take a very close look at the battle spells because that will tell a very interesting story. Okay, all right.
It is going to be the Kaja in the roam, as we mentioned before. The flex potential for the game. We're going to get ready to enter the portal, to enter the land of dawn for Team Philippines versus Indonesia on the opening match of day number 2. We're going to dive straight into the land of dawn, ladies and gentlemen, for Indonesia versus Philippines.
Wow, honestly, the early game is going to be so important here because at any moment, right, any one of these teams, they can actually get an advantage, and if they do, both Indonesia and Philippines are notorious for taking that kind of lead and actually using it as efficiently as possible and punishing every single mistake. And if they do that, they can set the tone for the mid to late game all the way since as early as the 2nd or 3rd minute.
You can see in the start here, both teams wanting to go for just a normal start, not really going for anything too aggressive early on. They both just want to clear their camps, get to a point where they could finally actually deal out some damage to burst and obviously use those power spikes well. Here, Arashi, with the pathing of both of the junglers, it does feel like they want to play towards the side laners a little bit early as well. We've also seen many times that Del Rosario on the utility junglers really likes to go and clear that gold lane to help the Beatrix out.
Well, the early game, it's going to be so much pressure, so many things for the roamers to do, right? Because in the early game, it's always about how the roamers can facilitate. Will they move towards the gold lane? Will they move towards the mid lane? You know, once you get one of your laners ahead
to Philippines, as they're looking for more, that's the IMU doing work, stealing away to the Divine Judgment and picking up another for Imam in the mid lane.
That is what you have to be aware of, man. If you don't want to deal with the engage, you can engage on the engager, and that is exactly what the Philippines have done. They take out Dreams, and they hunt for stragglers afterwards. They have the tempo in the game right now, and if you look at the side lanes, that is where the action will start building up. Because with pressure in all the lanes from the Philippines, they're going to try and cut into the jungle and cut off members of Indonesia from their own backup.
I just really like how Soriano is taking this lane, is approaching this lane, this matchup, right? Up against the Melissa, he knows exactly that he is going to lose out if he goes for these trades, if he goes for these 1v1 duels. So what he does is he swaps over to the Bennett just to clear out the waves, rotates over to help his team, and simultaneously gets over to Philippines with no trades on the board, no turrets, no kills so far.
They put a trigger on that play with the objective to try and force the Philippines' hand, but instead the Philippines has all the answers. A tanky front line, 2 tanky front lines in fact, and a lot of utility to ensure that their member stays alive, and afterwards they can just chase and take out members of Indonesia one by one, and even then they go for the pressure, and it seems like the Indonesians, they have to try and make a huge play happen or a massive pickoff. But it's going to be very difficult because the positioning from the Philippines is way too good.
The setup, the positioning, and the trigger instantly onto Psychots, picking him up, baiting Indonesia over to that bottom side to pick up a free turret and 2 free kills in the process. It does feel like so far in this game, the Philippines are a step, maybe even 2 steps ahead of Team Indonesia as Dream's going to get knocked up. Imam looking for that follow-up, just a zone Indonesia away from the tier 2 as they look to start sieging down on every single turret.
The damage difference right now from both teams is just so difficult to deal with. We mentioned how there's only one real frontline on the side of Indonesia, and look at what happens to him in a big fight. He gets taken out. The cult altar is so non-existent. The Philippines are able to just burst through it and go on with their day. Soriano right now reliable engage. His Yuzong has been critical, but after 2 engages, will Philippines fall for the same trick twice?
Divine Judgment over the Dreams. That's going to be the frontliner taken out. That's going to be that. Oh my god, so much damage onto the Lapu.
Fortunately, won't be enough though. And now Indonesia, they're actually backing away, and it will be waiting for the Lord take. And Philippines, they are so good at the Lord dance. Going back and forth, waiting for their opponents to make a mistake, and with such a long range basic attack on their B-tricks, they can do better.
That's what they were waiting for. The Black Dragon form now baited out.
Oh!
Cuts with a Petrify onto Soriano, who's forced to flicker out, but Psychos jumps in. 1v4, soaking in all the damage and sustaining back up. Top it up, gonna be taken down by Brands. And that's another kill over to Indonesia, who are with the death timers of Dreams really well. With him now respawning, they've taken back the lead if they actually can secure the Lord within the 13th minute of the game. And now it's Philippines who have their backs against the wall with the enhanced Lord marching in that them down. It's again with a Black Dragon form as Del Rosario tries his best to keep Psychons at bay. The damage comes through once again for the siege to take place, but that's going to be Dapadap, who jumps in with a Brave
and then back away. The Philippines need to identify the right moment and then adjust accordingly. Do they want to go and fight after the Black Dragon form is down, or do they want to just stall?
Villaluna with that circling eagle over the Brands, but it's going to be baited in with the cold altar placed as well. Soriano targeted by the flanks, and that's going to be Taz who picks up the Beatrix. Soriano taken down, Brands in the midst of it all, still life stealing with his fighter. Brands is massive. He is an absolute beast as he wins the battle for Indonesia. It's a 4-0 trade. Indonesia with a comeback to defend with Villaluna going to be brought back by the Shadow Stampede. Villaluna outside of the base, and Indonesia with the Divine Judgment on go for the base to pick up the first game of the series.
Oh my god, what an upset!